Good morning, everybody. This is Marius from Brisbane in Australia, and this morning it's 7 o'clock in the morning here in Australia. It's 28 June, Friday morning. Tertius, how is everybody doing?
Marius, I think there's a lot of very excited people and there's a lot of nervous people. I can see from the comments and from the messages I've received today, we've got people that have been with us from, let's say, December last year. Some of them have been members for a month or two, and some of them have been members for a week. And you can see the guys that have maybe, been day trading and very concerned about the drops. Whereas the other guys that have been around a little bit longer sort of realize, yes, the time for taking profits was there. We should have taken some profits already. But yet, we're waiting and we're having a look and we're trading the swings and we're trading the patterns and not too concerned about what happens inter and intraday. So, yes, a lot of excitement, and I think there's a lot of tenseness as well, especially from the newer folks.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just quickly make sure that we are recording this. Yes, we are recording. Yeah, Tertius, let's kick the meeting off, and thank you everybody for being online. Yes, absolutely. There's definitely some nerves all over the place. But look, guys, if you look at the retracement at the moment, and let me just share my screen there, Tertius.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can. And
Okay.
Morris, congratulations on that upgrade to your internet connection. It's definitely made a big difference.
Yeah, I think so too. It's unfortunately we have to do what the government does here, and the government, they were supposed to put in these fiber optics years ago, but it looks like it's working good. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay, so my voice is probably loud enough. That's good. Okay.
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, so let's quickly have a look and see what is happening with Bitcoin at the moment. Now, you can see that Bitcoin went from this bottom point here. At that point there is where we recommended that people get into Bitcoin, and we said that we could have a 69% upwards move. Now, it went a little bit higher, and you can see that Bitcoin went right into that point there, which is about, that one is 13,880. We thought it's only going to go to about 12,800, maybe with momentum go up slightly more. And this is one thing that we just need to understand, is that momentum can take a coin up very high. But when that coin runs out of momentum, bang, it comes down like a rock. Now, the initial play, Tertius, that we had was this purple or pink line, rather. I keep calling this a purple line. It's pink. Anyway, so we said that it's going to do something like this. And Bitcoin played out almost to the T according to this pattern. So let's move that pattern aside there and just put that on that side. Now, what has happened is that Bitcoin went straight up there, ran out of momentum, and then started dropping a little bit earlier than what we anticipated it would actually do. We thought we have another day or two before it then drops into this box, which is B, then goes sideways, and then drop into B minus. Now, I believe that that is still going to happen, guys. Now, let me take my arrow here and say the probability now is that we could see in the next 2 or 3 hours that Bitcoin drops Tertius close to that level there. Very easy. I know people probably don't want to hear this, but let's just have a look at that. There's a big probability that this can happen. From there onwards, there is a big probability. Let me just bring my algorithm data up here. Just give me a second.
So that's a time contraction possibly happening, eh?
Yeah, a day or two. It's always difficult to find the exact date where something will go up and then drop. But the market, a lot of people FOMO, fear of missing out. started buying Bitcoin, moving out of cryptos, buying Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin. And you look at this big candle here, there's just that big, big, big green candle. That's where we posted out and said, do not buy Bitcoin, because everybody is buying Bitcoin. Look what happened for all those people that bought, right? That big green candle. It ran out of momentum, the market came down. Now, let me just bring up my algorithm data here. Yeah, so we believe that the market can go down here, but this will actually be, we probably need to turn that candle around. But I'll show you now what we see. We then see a sideways action, something similar like this. As a matter of fact, that candle should actually be turned around because the market turns back upwards. Let's just make that green. There's a probability that it drops and gets stopped by this 22 MAE. So expect a bit of a drop. It goes back up, and we have a bit of a, could be higher, maybe this point here, where we could go sideways. But then what comes is another drop, something like this. So if I were to draw that, you know, it could do this, come down further, spike back up, do something like this, hit another high point there, and then come here, and then starts dropping back into this level here. And see where that Python y-axis is. It will stop it there at 7650, the lowest point, and then retrace back upwards. And from here onwards, we are expected to do something like this. We'll hit that level here again here in August, and then we break the $14,000 level here. See, like everybody was calling now and said that we're going to break 14,000 here. We don't believe that that 14,000 can be broken now. Now, let me just clear up the screen here and move the old. So that is kind of what we look at. So this one played out more or less, but you can see here, guys, here right at the top, where that top is there, we expected to have another 2 days sideways. And that is not what basically played out. I was expecting to have a doji candlestick as a warning candlestick to let us know that the market is going to drop. But nonetheless, let's say that is Bitcoin. So the next play could be something like this. More or less the same, but because this moved higher, remember the previous line was here? And what I said in the blog post is the higher we go, the lower high Bitcoin will be. So instead of being there, it will just move up because this went higher. Now that retracement, I think a better idea to do is to give you a retracement figure. And let me just have a look here on my algorithm data. So we look at about, let me just see.
So we possibly have a higher low.
That's correct. And you look at about a 29% retracement to maybe this level here. So I do expect Bitcoin to drop slightly more, maybe touching this 22 MAE.
Interesting to see how steep that 22 MAE and the MS52, well, actually the 22 MAE, it just sort of started climbing a lot as Bitcoin went up, as opposed to the Python y-axis, which has remained very, very stable down at the bottom, providing support.
Exactly. This is something that we need to mention as well, guys. Look at this Python y-axis. It's great that you mentioned that, Tertius. The Python y-axis is always our support. And that will also become resistance for other coins. And I'm going to show you now, as we go through, what happens with the Python y-axis. Very important that we understand this. And as we go forward and we head above $14,000, I'm going to show you 2 other indicators at that point, which will just be stunning to see. Right through this here, the Python y-axis has created that resistance and that support. Once a coin breaks through the Python y-axis, it's pretty much impossible to drop below the Python y-axis according to our algorithm data. The algorithm data has worked out, it's a mathematical equation. Everything that we see in cryptos has to run according to the algorithm. It's a mathematical equation. Now, long term, let's quickly think about this long term, Tertius. And I like to invest long term. There is a probability that you now, if you are in Bitcoin, you can get out of Bitcoin, move your money into USDT or into cash or into TUSD through USD, park your money there and just stay out of the market. Because the market, in my opinion, is going to drop a little bit lower. This is now Bitcoin to this 22 MAE. Is then going to go back upwards, sideways. And we still expect this drop here, the B minus. Remember, that is the new ABCD cycle. This new ABCD cycle is going to take Bitcoin way above $14,000. As a matter of fact, an astronomical number, which I'm not going to mention here now. But we first want to get out on the top here and see where that top is there. But we are going to go sideways and we are going to land, in my opinion, in this box here. It's not going to look like we're going to hit it, but there's another lower low coming. And that lower low is going to be B minus. Mathematically, look guys, maths must play out. There's 360 degrees in a circle. You can't make it 361. You can't make it 280. A circle has got 360 degrees. Einstein worked maths out. Math always play out. And it's the same as when we were here on the bottom where we said CC plus DD, the end of the cycle, and then it hits upwards into a high point here. Now the problem that we have here is the human race, FOMO, fear of missing out, where people started buying, pushing it up. And this is one thing that I've taught everybody here at Python Signals. We do not buy the spike. We stay away. We stay away from the spike. Now, many of those people, you can see that big green candle. How many people are now in a loss buying that spike? Whereas if we came in here on the bottom, you're still in big profits. And if you sell now, you've still got big profits. As a matter of fact, if you sell out now, you should be around about 40, 45, 46% profit. Now remember that this is going to retrace backwards, I believe, maybe touching that 22 MAE, and then it's going to move back up. Now you can wait for that as well and then sell on the top and maybe make about a 50% profit. Because it's going to go upwards here, and there's going to be some spikes here and there that you can take advantage of. But I tell you what now, guys, if you see this sideways movement here, kind of like, let me just draw it. It's going to look like this, like a little wedge, like this. And then what it's going to do is to have a, this is not really impulse wave, I'm just drawing this for visual purposes. It's going to do something like this, and then it's going to narrow at the end. And mark my words, everybody's going to say, this thing is going to break out here to 14,000. Okay? Now remember, that's not going to happen. Guys, this is a warning sign. That is going to drop. Normally what happens, all cryptos break out like astronomical. They break out. But in this case, it's going to drop here. I'm the
So
1%.
Like a bearish pennant, eh?
Yes, exactly, Tertius. This is actually a bullish scenario in terms of technical analysis. But our algorithm data shows that we're going to drop into this level here. And then again, that Python y-axis there, that becomes the support. And then we start moving slowly turn around. And remember, this box is very long because it's not just going to be straight directly upwards. You could potentially see a scenario where it stays here for a while as well, because it's going to be like shock, and then go upwards. Exactly what we saw here. Now look at this DD box here. Remember when we landed in this box? Let me just clear this up a little bit. So when we landed in this blue box here, we said that for the most part of June, we're going to go sideways. So we went sideways here. So imagine that just here, where we land into this box, and we go sideways and then slowly break out upwards again. So it's going to be similar like this. This pattern will basically repeat itself over a longer stretch, not as quick as this. And we can possibly be prepared for about 30 to 60 days, slowly moving upwards till we break $14,000 there. So long term, this is what we look. The reason, Darius, is that I'm showing people the long term view is this, guys. There's two scenarios that you have. You can literally go here and start selling a percentage of your Bitcoin. I'm talking about Bitcoin specifically now. And then you can wait here and buy back on the bottom here. Now, there's three options. You can sell 50% of your Bitcoin, buy in the bottom here, increase your Bitcoin. The reason I'm saying 50 is because there's still going to be gains to be made here. And you can start selling at every single high point, and you may want to ladder out. Now, the other option is, and this is an option that I really like, you simply just wait it out. You know, you don't fear, because you know now that there's a potential of a drop, but the market comes back again. Similar to this, guys. Have a look here on the bottom. If you bought here on the bottom there and you simply just kept it, now remember this, the market went up here. Many people didn't sell on that top. Me neither. I didn't sell, because at that point there, something nefarious in the world happened. Right at that top there, if you guys can remember back, we had the American shutdown. And remember, the market went downwards, far downwards, way more than what it was supposed to do. That whole entire AA to BB. This one should have been actually a lot higher. If you look at this BB, it should have been about there. And then the market should have gone up. So what we did is we decided, okay, right, we don't know where that low point is going to be, but it can't be lower than this. So we simply held. So we held up here and came here, right here at that point there. There was the big indecision in the market. The market at that point showed 50% completely. I've never seen it. A 50% upwards, and it also showed it could go 50% downwards. And this, guys, if you haven't been with us here in Python Signals, and you knew, that is a pivot point for all cryptocurrencies. The fact that we broke upwards here and broke these two lines here and got stopped here by the 3B algo is unbelievable. This already points now that Bitcoin will go to 40,000 and beyond. It's a mathematical certainty that it will happen. So that was a big one there. It spiked up there. And what I'm trying to say is, even if you held, so see, if you held there on the top there at AA, now remember, you came all the way down here. You didn't worry, you didn't fret, you didn't get scared, you didn't wake up here 3 o'clock in the morning to watch your phone, and bang, the market went up again, and you're in big profit. Now, when you get to that high point, you look back, you go like, wow, yeah, it's a good point I didn't sell. Now let's come here. That's exactly the same. So the option that I like is, because remember this, we trade with large sums of Bitcoin for clients. We can't go and dump 5,000 Bitcoin on the market. You know, number one, the exchanges won't allow you to do it. You cannot go and sell that amount. So what we do is we sell a small percentage, and then we just buy back on the bottom and increase maybe 50 Bitcoin, 100 Bitcoin with large sums of money now. But you can't do it with millions and millions of dollars. This is why the people that manipulate the market, what they do, and you saw that in Ethereum, and we'll go into Ethereum shortly, is that they would sell 5 Bitcoin every 3 or 4 minutes or even every 30 seconds. And they would sell and dump it at a lower price to bring the market down. Now, this is why you won't see big dumps of Bitcoin. Exchanges don't allow it. And going forward, they won't be able to do it. Any
Maurice,
questions?
I think a pertinent question while you're at this point, somebody was asking earlier, would you be shorting Bitcoin on the way down towards block B minus? Presumably that'll be on a different exchanges than the actual crypto exchanges, but the question remains, would you short Bitcoin over the next couple of weeks?
That's just for those people who know how to short the market, you're welcome to do it. But we personally, we never ever do that. I don't do it with my own money, it's too risky, and I don't do it with customer or client's money as well. We don't do that. It's a very risky game because you're betting against big banks. And guys,
Yep.
I have seen so many things in the last 4 years, 5 years. You short the market, and when there's too many shorts, the market turns on you. Be careful what you do. Use a small percentage to do it. But Tertius, in short, we don't do it. There's only one way. Tertius, there's one way how I play the market, and that is long term. We invest long term. If you go back, for example, here, guys, we were the only people in the entire world, and I can't find anybody, and this is not bragging about it now, just get me right, but in 2018, we made 518% gains. And it's not a lie, documentation is there to prove it, the videos are there to prove it. We literally, on the high, we sold. We came back and we bought on the low, and you know the story. We sold high and we bought low every single time in this down market. Right down here till 15 December 2018. What did we do? We didn't short the market. People that short the market never even made even 100%. Last year, we made 518% gain. Incredible. This year so far, just from this bottom now, minimum that you are up is about 200% in your portfolio. If you simply held your coins and you never bought and sold, you would be up astronomical, maybe 300-400%. And in certain coins, you should be up, for example, 400, even 500%. Those who held BNB, let's just go to BNB, for example. If you held BNB and you never sold, right to this top here, that's a 954% gain. BNB. Sure. And guess what, guys? BNB is not over yet. There you go, another 500%. Now, this is a typical example, Tertius. Look at this. Markets go up, markets drop. Markets go up, markets drop. Markets go up, markets drop. Goes up, it drops. And then BNB is going to go to this high point here of $47. Mark my words. There's going to be, now to get to that point here, let me just show people what's going to happen here. Now, in the video of about 2 days or yesterday, remember I said I point to this arrow here and I say, don't be surprised in the video if BNB drops into this level there. Okay. So it's a little bit higher actually to that point there. But how this market reacts to get to that point there is this. It will do this, it'll do this. It'll go there, it'll go there. And then there, bang. Expect something like that. It's a volatile market to get up to a higher point. Now, if you know that this is volatile, then you don't worry about these drops. As a matter of fact, you always keep 10% of your money in cash. Like, for example, with Ethereum now, I'm a big Ethereum buyer at the moment. Now, I kept a huge amount of money in cash. I haven't bought yet because I see another lower low coming. I'll soon start buying. Now, that is how you make extra coins, by keeping money in the market as well. So if you have another $1,000, you could have come right down here to the bottom here and bought a little bit more, 10, 20, 30 BNB. and bang, there you go. There it goes up again. And you're going to see over the next few days, it's going to go up again into a green candle. There may be 3, 4, 5, 6 red days. Bang, there it goes up again. BNB Tertius is one of the coins that I can recommend and tell people, hold it, don't even sell. The thing is this, you look at Binance. BNB is the Binance coin. There's a story behind Binance. They must bring BNB up to $500, even to $1,000. It's going to happen. You know, the people from Binance, they're not dumb. And the more the exchange gets used and the more popular it gets, the more BNB is rising in price. It can't go down. It won't go down. The more, and these guys are making millions of dollars, even billions. Imagine this being a bank stock, but a radical bank stock. It's going to go up to $1,000, guys. BNB, you want to have it in your portfolio. What is happening here? Let me just quickly, sorry, Tertius, now you want to ask a question, but this is what I said. Remember earlier, we were talking, Tertius and I were talking about this Python y-axis, that one there? Okay. Now let me show you. Have a look at BNB. Where is the Python y-axis for BNB? There we go. Can you see there?
Yeah.
So where BNB has already crossed the Python y-axis, Bitcoin is now there at A. I'm giving a bit of a secret away here, guys. This drop that you see here, see that drop there? And the following drop coming? It's not going to play out exactly like this, but between A and B, that's where Bitcoin is. Then what Bitcoin is going to do, it's going to jump up to 14,000. Then it's going to go and break the all-time high. Then we have another drop. Then it's going to go to 60,000. I'm not giving you the real numbers here, but I just want you to see this visual. Then it's going to drop again. And then it's going to go to 80,000. Okay? So have a look at that wave. Why? Because this is the Python y-axis. Let's go back to Bitcoin and have a look there again. Can you see now why I'm saying that we are zoomed in too much? We really need to zoom out. There's the Python y-axis. Bitcoin broke through. It's going up. It's forming the ABC down. And then it's going to go, remember this, A, B, C, and then it's going to have a bit of a drop. And that cycle, I showed that last week, is going, I know this will get a little bit messy, but let me just show this again, Tertius, because I know there's a lot of new people here. With this messy screen, let me show you quickly what we see here. This entire segment here, that is one cycle. The reason, guys, why we say this is one cycle is because of this A, B, C there, D. Now, these cycles get bigger, and this is why Bitcoin is going to go to $1 million and beyond. The next cycle is going to be there. Can you see how they get bigger and bigger? The next cycle, without giving too much away here, guys, is going to start here again and become even bigger. Go back in December and January this year and go and see if you can find the old videos where we explain the granular cycle. There's not a name called the granular cycle. We came out with that name. Bitcoin is in a big granular cycle that will take Bitcoin to insane levels. And this is what we are seeing right now. Now let's zoom in and see where we are again. If you zoom in now, you can see that this actually is a small play. Although you may feel it in your pocket or you feel emotionally distraught because of the fact that Bitcoin is dropping. So yeah, Tertius, let's just stop there and see if there's any questions and we can answer Bitcoin before we then get into Litecoin, Ethereum, and then Bitcoin Cash.
Morris, at this stage in the chat box, there's not too many questions. You know, yes, guys, we are going to deal with some of the coins, and Morris will tell us where we can draw parallels between some of the coins. It's just something that I every time you show that graph of the 2018 cycle that the market came down, and the fact that you guys made 500%. What strikes me is those were just like 6 or 7 times during the year that you actually traded. The rest of the time we were just waiting for the right cycles. So it's not a daily thing. If look at that, you sell once, buy once, sell a second, buy second, third, fourth. There's like 5, 6, 7 times during the year that we're buying and selling.
That's correct.
So
Last year was probably one of the most boring years, but the most profit we made. It was incredible. And you're right. We didn't trade every single day.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
And no, I think the other thing is we've got a lot of new people on this evening. I think I speak under correction. This is the first time we've gone over 200 people on the live call on a Thursday, Friday. So yes, welcome, folks. And just if you don't know how the stuff works, if you've got a question, please pop it in the chat box. If when it's appropriate, I can introduce that as Morris is chatting. But we want to give Morris as much time to take us through the different coins and charts as he can. And if you're new, make sure that you go through at least a month or 6 weeks of the recordings and reports so that you get an idea and get a feel for how the whole community works and how the education around the coins work. Because otherwise it could be overwhelming. The first time I jumped in here, I was so excited. I looked at Top 40 report and I started buying it as though it was the model portfolio, which was not the right thing to do. But it took me a bit of time to just relax and settle and understand how these things were playing out. So welcome to everybody. Yes, and we're looking forward to the rest of the coins. I see Morris has got a whole lot of them lined up for us. So Morris, yes, a lot of people say there's mentioning Neo, IOTA, BNB. Obviously, we've had, yeah. Please carry on with them. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And remember this: in Python signals, we are only getting started, guys. We are going to bring in 1 million people. You will see this happening in your business where people will just start getting into your business. The more you refer this to friends and family, the more you're going to make money as well. And so far at this moment, I think we've paid out in excess of about 1.8, maybe $2 million in Bitcoin commissions. And it's just going to get more. For those people who work the business, you're going to make huge money. So the play for Bitcoin just at this point, I do believe, as I said, that let's just move that aside a little bit here. I do believe that we could potentially drop here into the 22 MAE. The MAE, don't worry if you don't understand this, guys, for all the new people. It's the mathematical algorithm equation. This creates a really good stop point. Your first stop, that's why it's brown too. It's like a broom. Your first stop when things drop, especially Bitcoin. So we believe that Bitcoin could drop here to the 22 MAE and then shoot back upwards. There is going to be a point where it will drop through the 22 MAE, and then this Python y-axis will then become the support, basically, where it will finally stop and then go up. So this is the play that we think. Now let's quickly go into Litecoin and see what is Litecoin. I'm going to get into Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash. Now Litecoin is Litecoin is a very strong coin. From the bottom here, just for the new people now, from the bottom here, let's see what that rise was. Around about 22 on the bottom. The maximum rise was about just over 500%. And currently, with the retracement, it's about 387%. That's huge gains. But guys, this is still small gains for what is coming in Litecoin. So we just need to be a little bit patient. Now let's have a look and see where is the Python y-axis. There we go. There's your Python y-axis. See that nice dark purple line. Then we get here the 2B algo. That is a very good sign because the pink line here is going upwards and the pink line is going to cross the purple Python y-axis. We want that to happen. When that happens, it's going to push Bitcoin upwards. Now, look at when this happens. If we take a line I expect that we're going to have a bit of downwards pressure. It's going to go sideways, and possibly here in September, August, September, maybe here in August, is where these two lines are going to cross. It's going to look something like this. Year onwards, you better hold on to your seats, because Litecoin, remember this, guys, I've always said that is going to jump with 1,000% over the next 60 days. I'm mentioning $1,000 because I don't want to say to you it's going to be 3,000, because you probably can't comprehend a coin that will jump 3,000%. So let me lowball it and say 1,000%. So when it hits 3,000, then you can say, wow, that was a good call. Now remember this, guys, we're not here about bragging about good or bad calls or how good we are. I don't want that. It's about you making money, becoming debt free. For me, that's the most important. We don't want credit. It's not about that. We're not bragging about these things. We can be wrong as well. So just remember this. So, but come here, let me give you a bit of indication of what's going to happen with Litecoin actually. Okay, first of all, this is the play that we said, see that pink pattern? We said that we believe that we're going to play this pink pattern and that we're going to head into this high point here. That high point is about 179, between 179 and 189. Now let's just move that aside. At this moment yet, what is missing is this one spike upwards into that red box. If it does not happen, then have a look at what I've got on the screen here. If we don't hit this red box here, we believe that Litecoin then is going to go downwards to this point here. See, that is the Python y-axis, similar to what Bitcoin is doing, and I'm going to make it a little bit more bigger so we can see what's happening here. See this Python y-axis there? It could be that Litecoin drops later today and tomorrow into this level here. Once it hits that low point, it's going to bounce back upwards, perhaps here into this box here. Okay, it could even just retrace a little bit lower, maybe there, but I do see a retracement there. Then it's going to jump into this box, go sideways, and then later on here, it's going to come back and just touch $99. Let me just put that in here. And that is still in play. As a matter of fact, our data actually points to it just breaks 99.99. And at that point, it could be a good buy. But I'm going to give you a but here. I'm looking at my algorithm data now. Okay. Now, it comes down to this point here. The best thing that I can show you is maybe that it does this. Goes down. It goes up. It plays around here a little bit. Then it drops here. It goes up here a little bit. And just follow with me more or less. I'm going to show you now. It goes there. And now for the big thing. When you see this drop, and this drop is going to be around about $80. It's going to be a very quick drop in one day. When you see that and it drops to a low point here, and let me just give you the percentage drop there. Okay, that is going to be from that level there. Let me just get that. Actually there at about 87. Around about $87. So many people are going to think that this is a good buy. Okay, I'm not even going to buy there. I'm not even buying Litecoin at all until it comes here to this point here. Okay, what happens then is when we hit that point, and here is the thing that we're going to watch. From this point here, when it goes back up with 100%, exactly 100%, there, back to 160. That could be a big move. Now remember this, because of this low point here, it could even, I haven't worked it out yet, but let's say between 80 and 100%. When you see a big move up here, and you will notice that because it will be a big drop down, and it's going to be a big drop, sorry, a big return upwards again. What, this trading view, I wish they can sort out their issues. And it's going to go into that level there. Let me just make that red, and then we can see that a little bit more clear. When you see that move where it drops and spikes back upwards in about 2 or 3 days, that is your sign, guys, that a few days later, and mark my words here, a few days later, Litecoin is going to do this. And it's going to keep going and going and going. And we see it happening in one day. It will probably breach about $300. So again, we follow that orange pattern there. It comes here, it goes up, it then drops back here, goes sideways here, spins around here, and bang, there it goes. Now, long term, I didn't want to give people this algorithm analysis, Tertius, but I want people to have this long view. Okay. Now, keep in mind that we are saying I'm here to October now. It may even happen a lot earlier here in July, August, maybe here in September. So don't look at this as the date. The dates are not correct. I just stretch it out to say, look at the pattern. When you see this drop here, right down to the bottom, and then the big spike, then you know that we are close. As a matter of fact, for my everybody is going crazy about Litecoin. Litecoin is the #1 coin. Look, guys, it's not the #1 coin yet. There's 2 options here. You can sell out now, park your money in cash, get out of Litecoin completely. The second thing is you can wait till it comes down here to the bottom and then it goes up, and maybe if we have a break upwards into this red box, then sell and get out. Okay. The other option is, remember, this other option is also a very good option. Simply hold. Don't worry, because look what's going to happen. It's going to go down here. Simply hold and add onto your positions on the dips. And this is what I'm doing. Remember, because I said we can't move millions of dollars. You can't. You can't sell, I think, more than, I think it's 5,000, is it, baby? Or something like 2,000 Litecoin. You can't sell more than 2,000 Litecoin at any given time. The exchanges won't allow you. So now you have to go and put an order in. It gets sold. You place another order. And I mean, you can't, then your timing is off. You can go and put multiple orders in, but you can't sell more than that, those blocks. And but look at this play, Tertius. This is what I want people to look at, not the date. Forget about the date on the bottom. The date may not be correct because I'm trying to draw it out. When you see this drop here, going into about $80, when it breaks $90, going into 80 and reverses back, be very, very careful, because a few, like 2 weeks later, you're going to have this big spike upwards. Now let's have a look and see what is happening with Litecoin right now at the moment. Let's forget about that long-term view for a second. Let me just remove this. Now, the first thing that we expected was that Litecoin was supposed to break out into this red box. There's still a probability that this can happen. This line here, the MS52, has kind of like created support. If it breaks through, the Python Y-axis is going to create support. And we could then see a upwards move. This is a very low number for some reason for Litecoin. That the end of Litecoin should actually show a big spike upwards. So this for me is a little bit odd that it's formed that. You can see there's a doji candlestick. We do show a doji candlestick, but these 2 red candles should have actually been upwards. So that says to me that the market is kind of like accepted the fact that Bitcoin went high and everybody went into Bitcoin. People even sold Litecoin, went into Bitcoin and rode that wave upwards in Bitcoin. And as I said, guys, you look at this big green candle here. I mean, you just need to put the volume indicator on. You see how many people just bought here. This is the problem, that many people buy the spike. We will never ever buy the spike. So long term, there's no major problem with Litecoin. We do see that spike coming. As I said, there are a few options. You can hold, simply ride it out, and add at the lower points to your positions. You can either climb out of Litecoin completely now and just wait, if you want to do that too. I never ever get out of a coin completely. Not now, not this year. I believe this year is a year of increase. The markets are going upwards. So you may want to consider selling 10%, 20, 30, 40%. The reason for doing that, Tertius, is if you sell 50% now, you've got a bit of cash. So let's say you've got $10,000. You sell 5,000, you keep the cash. What if this market turns around unexpectedly and bang, shoots up?
Yep.
You always have to have that in mind, because we've got a missing spike here. Remember this. There's something missing here. And where's that indicator of ours? There we go. There's the algorithm pattern. See, it played out perfectly, and then we had this drop here. And we still missed that little last leg. See that last leg there? We still missed that. And we've got time till the 2nd of July, which is next week, Monday, Tuesday, for that spike still to turn around. Could it be that Bitcoin stands still here, goes sideways, and while it goes sideways, that the altcoins move upwards? Keep that in mind. That can still happen. Now let's quickly get it. Are there any questions in regards to Litecoin?
I don't think specifically Litecoin. Thanks, Wendy, for also handling some of the questions that are coming through. I know somebody was saying, can't you use OTC for large quantities? Yeah, but I think OTC is just, it takes a lot more time. And Morris, your opinion there?
Yeah, we do use OTC. That is correct, you do. And then what happens is it doesn't show on the books. Now, the problem that I have with OTC is the percentage that they charge us. You know, you're going to pay a higher premium for that, and you're not necessarily going to get the price that you want. But yes, OTC is a way of doing it. And it's interesting, actually, Tertius, that person mentioned that. OTC is one of the ways where these big institutions are hiding the sale of, you know, the transactions of Bitcoin and cryptos. It doesn't show on the books. It's kind of like under the table. And yes, we do make use of that. We've got a partner here in Australia called Caleb and Brown. You can subscribe to that as well if you use larger quantities, then maybe 50,000 upwards. And we can give them instructions and they can sell it really quick. I was just basically referring to the exchanges, you know, that you really struggle if you get to a certain level that you struggle to sell your cryptos.
Absolutely. So, Morris, I think there's a lot of people asking, you know, a number of questions about coins that we haven't spoken about for a while. But I think, you know, we've got limited time, and I think the focus, as I can see from what you've prepared, is mainly the coins we've identified as part of the top 40 to go forward with. You know, there's questions on the Libra coin, your opinion on that, and Bitcoin Black, and all sorts of things. But I don't know if we've got time to go into those things, given that we have things like OMG and Bitcoin Cash still to go through, EOS and Ripple, Neo, Digibyte. And I know you probably got something on IOTA as well. So rather than us keep you up, there's nothing pressing as far as I can see. Thanks also to Wendy for handling some of the questions, and please carry on.
Okay, good. Let's quickly have a look at Ethereum. Now, I want to go through Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash. They are kind of like the big daddies in the room. Whatever happens with them is going to happen in the other cryptos as well, to a certain extent. Now, let's have a look at Ethereum. Can you see where the Python y-axis is? This is very important to understand this, guys. This means that Ethereum has still got a lot of room to grow. And what is happening here with this bit of a drop is not the end of the world. You know, we had so many emails of people being scared. Look, remove your fear for a second. You know, because everything is well in the crypto world. Let's have a look at that drop there. Okay, there was another drop here as well. There's another drop here. There's another drop there. Look what happened every single time when it drops, it goes up. It drops, it goes up. It drops, it goes up. This drop is probably going to be a little bit longer, stretched out, but eventually it's going to go up again. You know, Ethereum is one of the coins that will break $1,000 in no time per Ethereum. So I want you to focus on the long term. If we were in a downtrend like last year, I wouldn't have told you this. In a downtrend where the market went down, I would have now at this point told you to get out of Ethereum. But guys, look at this market. It's moving upwards. It's not last year where it came all the way down. You've got different dynamics. And look at this. It's very interesting. Look at how everything is pointing upwards. You can't simply mathematically just point those uptrend lines to a negative. It doesn't happen like that. It takes months for that to reverse. Like it took months for Ethereum to come down to the bottom here and then reverse. Literally months. Now look at that. We went sideways here. So I really want you to understand this. This is incredible. You see, you went sideways here and bang, you had a breakout. The market will never come back on a longer term. So let's zoom in and let's have a look and see what is happening with the Ethereum short term. You can see that Ethereum is starting to turn back upwards. That dark line, let me just bring up my algorithm data here. I can remember a lot of things, but I tell you what, the older I get, Tertius, the more I'm going like, yeah, I don't know. I need to eat more peanuts. I'm probably going to shock you guys here with Ethereum as well, but I'm going to give you a little bit of inside info of what's going to happen with Ethereum. The same what I did with Litecoin. Okay, now first of all, I do believe that we could break through here, and this green line, which is the MS52, is going to have or create support here. Now, again, what is missing here in Ethereum is this thing here. Now, remember, see that play, how beautiful it played out? All the way up there, all the way up right to that point there. And exactly, there's you see the last two candlesticks, that one and that one, it's still missing. For some reason, it's still missing. So, similar to that of Litecoin, this should have broken upwards and landed there in that box there. And then I was expecting that we would just break the Python y-axis. Now look, it can still happen because we've got today, which is Thursday in America, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 to 4 days that this can potentially reverse upwards. So I just want you to keep this in mind. It's something sinister going on here with the crypto market, which is not really this drop in our algorithm. It shows there, but not as big as this. So it shows a small drop and then it shows going upwards, similar to what you can see here. Now let's have a look at this again. Can you see here about there? Now let me just analyze. Let me just analyze this pink line for you. See that one there is where the drop is supposed to happen. So you do get a drop. One of those are a drop. Once you get the drop, then it breaks out. Okay, so keep that picture in mind. Now, if I put the black lines here, something like this. But see it drop too far, too low. So in effect, what you should have, and remember I'm in the daily candle here. If you go into 4 hours, you can see it a little bit more clear, but I just like to work on these kind of candles. There is a probability that it can do this, maybe on a 4 or 5 hour and then break out. There's still a probability. So can you see there, that's just what I mean. But what bothers me here is this red candle that is broken too low. If that happens, you sometimes can't have that fifth leg, but there's still a probability that that can happen. And as I say, we've still got a day, 2, 3, or 4 left. So don't sell too quick on Ethereum. Personally, I haven't sold any Ethereum. As a matter of fact,
Yep.
I'm accumulating, and I'm waiting. If there's a further drop where it breaks below that brown line there, I'm going to buy more Ethereum.
Yeah.
Okay, but
That's
now,
that's that's
yeah, go ahead.
sorry, that's the advantage of having some cash available. I'm running a little bit low personally on cash because I've used some of the profits that we've taken on the way up to buy a little bit more Ethereum, but more Bitcoin Cash, but more Litecoin, and actually purchased some AGI. AGI went very low today, and I hadn't put much in my portfolio before, so I used the opportunity just to add some AGI singularity today. So yes, it's always good to have the cash available, so that you can make use of opportunities.
Absolutely. So let's say, guys, if this happens, let me just get that brush again. XRP, I'm going to go into XRP maybe in, I'll go into it now, but I'm going to show you what happens with XRP, and then I'm going to show you what happens with Digibyte in 2 weeks from now. I'm not going to show you XRP and Digibyte now. But guys, these yellow 5 coins are the coins that you must have in your portfolio in the next 2 months. I showed you what happens with Litecoin. Okay, Litecoin is not going to be the first mover. Ethereum is going to move first, bang, upwards. Then comes Litecoin, then XRP, Bitcoin Cash, and Digibyte. Those coins, you must hold them, and you must hold them in a big quantity of your portfolio. Not now, not now. Everybody says that XRP, you read it all over Twitter and all over social media, that XRP is going to go to astronomical. There's even a guy that went and bought a BMW i8 because he anticipates, he went and bought the car now on a loan, and when XRP rises in the next week or two, he's going to pay the car off. Guys, it's the dumbest thing in the world. You know, don't go and make debt. You know, I drive a car that's 20 years old. It's an old Mitsubishi Pajero. I'm just about to sell the Pajero and put that money also in cryptos, and I'll drive around with Uber. Number one, I've got no registration in Australia, which is $1,000 a year. I don't have to put fuel in. I have got no maintenance, no tires, and I've got a chauffeur that drives me around. Costs me a little bit of money here and there, way less than what my car costs me. Forget about Lambos and all those stuff. You know, there's a lot more other good we can do in the world. First of all, get out of debt. Second thing is make wealth. The third thing is we're going to use that money that you make to change the world. Drill water wells. Like Wendy and I, we've got a campaign that we're doing now in Africa. We are going to drill a water well for this village. They've got a school there. They haven't got fresh water. We're going to drill them a water well. It doesn't cost a lot of money. Now you've done some good in the world. Now they've got fresh water forever. That's great stuff to do. It's better than buying an Audi R8 or BMW i8. You don't need these kind of things, you know. But if you want to do it, feel free to do it. I'm just saying, you know, there's a lot more good we can do. You're going to make insane money anyway, just where we are now. And I think that's important that we just identify this high point here. So guys, as we believe that there is a probability that we can have a return upwards, keep that in mind. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bang, spikes upwards into this level here of around about 446, maybe 490, 420. I do see there must be one more leg upwards. If that doesn't happen, then you know, at least we rode this wave from the bottom up to wherever we are there, and we made 30 or 40%, and that's fine. You know, if you make 30% on 50,000, that's still big money. 30% on $1,000, that's still $300 profit. So, but you've seen what I've shown you here. Let's quickly get into Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash also has got this missing. Look at this. It's very uncanny that we have the last 2 days, that 2 legs, we've got that missing. See how beautiful that played out? You know, up, up, but the last 2 legs, guys, those 2 legs are still missing. And I'm struggling to understand why it still hasn't spiked upwards. One of the reasons that I'm thinking is that if you look at Bitcoin, the fear of missing out. Now, Bitcoin should have stopped there at 11,689. Remember that figure there that we said that we expect Bitcoin to stop there at 11,689 and maximum 12,804. It went and broke through. So we expected it to stop there. But that green candle here is where everybody just literally in the world just bought and bought and bought, and they overextended the momentum. And then we have this big, big, big pullback. Now, it's not, I'm saying a big pullback, it's not a drastic big pullback. I mean, if you look at the history of Bitcoin, you know, there's always pullbacks here. Look at this pullback here. See that big pullback? And look what happened a day or two after. Bang, it spiked up again, and then it dropped. That could easily happen as well. Now, we've got about 20 minutes left over. Let me just quickly have a look here. Bitcoin Cash. So we do expect, I'm expecting the market perhaps to return upwards. If we don't break into the 694 level, then expect momentum to go downwards, sideways, downwards a little bit more, and we are going to break out later. Okay, so in effect, if that doesn't break out, then I can't see it not moving up. So keep that in mind. Don't sell too quick. You know, everything here looks good. That green line, which is the MS52, is pointing upwards. The Algo 20, the 2B is pointing upwards. This one is beautiful, pointing upwards. And then your mathematical equation for your Python y-axis and your 3B Algo is not even on the chart yet. So this thing is, okay, let me show you this. Look at this pink line here. Okay, follow that pink line. Let's go back to, let's just choose Litecoin. Can you see where the pink line is for Litecoin? Look there, Tertius.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That is exactly where Bitcoin Cash is.
Yep.
There we go, guys. Bitcoin Cash is there. It still has to break through, go up and break the Python y-axis. The Python y-axis is not showing yet on Bitcoin Cash because it still has to break through the pink line. Now look at how Litecoin break through. It got resistance at the pink line and then it broke through.
Yep.
Let's go back here. See there? Resistance, it broke through. And what happens now? Let's go back to Litecoin again. See there? We're waiting for that spike to break upwards, some form. There's still something happening there. If it doesn't happen, it will just be pure manipulation, price suppression on cryptos. Because remember, everything is exploding. People are making money all across the world. Let's quickly get into, Wendy just gave me a note here. I'm quickly going to get into NEO. NEO is one of the coins that has already played out. See that pattern there? Beautiful pattern playing out. Just waiting for that to load. So that pattern has played out with the high point there. And at that high point, this is when I tweeted out and said, let's hit the 15 October 2018 high, you know what to do. In my case, I sold at the high point there. I came back at the bottom and bought it back again. NEO is the other coin, guys, that you can simply hold. It's going to go to 800 to 850 per NEO. And it's now $17, $18, $19. Our second target, and this is going to happen, there's your Python y-axis, is going to be $36. If you want, you can simply hold. Keep in mind, see this drop here today? There's another drop, a 2-day drop, a 2-day drop. NEO is very volatile. See here, there's another drop. So expect a bit of a drop, and then it's going to go up again. NEO will always drop, go up, drop, go up. You just need to stomach it, and you can literally hold this coin, no problems. The banks are buying this coin like there's no tomorrow. Okay, now the other one Wendy showed me was BNB. We did go through BNB. BNB is still in an upwards momentum. You can literally hold, although we've got a bit of downwards pressure there, it's still going to go upwards. Expect a little bit of downwards pressure for the next week or two, but eventually it's going to go to 3, 4, 5, and eventually it's going to go higher. KBC. KBC is the other one that I just quickly want to talk about. No problem just holding KBC. Come here the 4th of July, the company said, on that date and going forward 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 July, doesn't have to be the 4th of July, you can give the company 100 of your KBC, they will give you 1 gram of gold. They'll put it in your back office. You can go and sell that gold, and then they will load it up on your gold debit card. That's one option. The other option is you can go and sell your KBC into Bitcoin. At that point, what I'm expecting to happen on the 4th of July is that the price will match the gold price. And remember, there's many people on the 4th of July are going to sell the KBC. Some will sell it for 16 cents, some for 20, some for 30, some for 40. Some will sell it for 8 just to get a bit of profit. So it's going to be a volatile market. I am personally, on the 4th of July, I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to wait and see what the crowd does, because I don't do what the crowds do. I do the opposite. So what we do, guys, is we just sit and watch. Let everybody be erratic. And remember, there's many people are going to sell. They're going to have issues where the coins don't show up. You know how it works in the back office. There's going to be thousands of people selling, and they're going to create support tickets, and things are just not going to work. I am going to wait till the dust settles. When it settles a week or two later, I'm going to review, and then I will move my KBC maybe into Bitcoin if the price is right, or I'll just hold it a little bit longer. KBC, guys, is going to go to $2 per KBC long term. It's a stable company. It's not a fraudulent company. It's not a scam of a company. Those things that people post on social media, you can't verify that it's a scam of a company. I mean, for goodness sake, guys, they've got so much gold in their reserves. I think it's 1.5 ton at the moment. They worldwide. They're setting up things all around the world, setting up banks. I mean, it's not a scam company. A real scam company is the bank. Your own bank is a scam company, not KBC. So KBC, in my opinion, if I can give you this, not really advice, but wait till the dust settles. The other thing that you can do is take your move your coins off the Carrot Bars or Carrot Bit exchange, move it either into HIT BTC or some other exchange. There's too many problems there with the Carrot Bit exchange, where people would sell their coins into KBC into Bitcoin. Like, for example, I did a test, and twice the test showed that I had it. Then I sold another batch earlier just to test it. It's still not showing up. I've emailed support and they just don't get back to you because there's thousands of support tickets. I'm thinking, eventually it will show up, but move it out so that you have it on HIT BTC or some other exchange. Your other option is just simply to hold it, wait till it goes to $2. Big whales have already told me they're not selling. So KBC, there's no problem with KBC. Wax, I haven't had a look at Wax yet. Somebody's asking me about Wax here. But look, on the bottom here, number 11, Walton Coin, Wax, and AGI. Buy it, hold it. Spend about maximum $500 in Walton Coin, Wax, and AGI. Hold it, because with that money by the end of this year going into next year, we're going to pay off your credit card, your car loan, and all that kind of stuff with $500. We expect that at one point that these three coins, maybe all three of them or one of them, is going to spike to 6,000%. But it's risky. It's a risky play. So put $500 behind those coins, hold it, forget about it. Don't worry about it. Don't trade these things up and down. There's better coins to trade. But these three, I'm in constant contact with the company. We're following those three. I tell you what, guys, that will get rid of your credit card debt, your car loan. That is the reason why we recommended those in the beginning of the year. BCB, okay, Bitcoin Black. Bitcoin Black, if you've bought Bitcoin Black, it's gone up really good. I think it's about 100 to 200%. You simply keep it. It's not a coin yet. I think it's ICO at the moment. I haven't had a look at mine yet. I've bought mine and I keep it. Bitcoin Black, don't do anything. Simply hold. EOS, let's quickly get into EOS. I'm just going through these questions here. EOS is a bit of a problem child. You can see that EOS actually dropped down. It actually formed that play. We can argue and say that the next play is probably around here. It's still also missing this target here of 9.8. Now, EOS is not a big problem for me. It always comes back. If you look at the volatility index, you can see that it's always have these big drops here. If you take that pattern there, you can simply move that pattern there. You can again move that pattern there. You can again move that pattern there. What happens every single time? at a pattern like this, it comes back very strong. EOS is a bullish crypto. It's going to go up to $10. Now remember this, guys. See this blue line here? That's the 15 October line. And see that other blue line? That's the 20 July 2018 line. So it's already broken our first two targets. But have a look here. See this purple line here? The Python y-axis. It's dropped through the Python y-axis. This 3B algo is giving it support. It's going to go above the Python y-axis. Now let's have a look here quickly at Bitcoin again. See here, Bitcoin went straight through the Python y-axis. EOS is there, and it stabbed through, came right down. If you look at Bitcoin now, if it would have happened with Bitcoin, then Bitcoin would have come back there. But what happens directly after this drop is that big move upwards. Okay, so that big move is still the move that you are going to see in EOS. It could drop a little bit further, maybe again the next day and stay here on the bottom, but at one point it's going to make a big move up to $9 or $10. This is a good coin to hold, and you could probably see about a 74% gain from today's levels. If you bought here at this high point, you simply hold. It's no use selling, because remember, it's going to come back. You can see that's created support now. It's going to go above the Python y-axis, exactly what it did here. You know, it breaks through, it goes up again. It's going to come back. This coin is not going downwards. The other one is VET. Okay, I haven't got a lot of data on VET. And PPT. We may just quickly bring PPT up. We've got about 9 minutes to go here. Any other questions there, Tertius?
Digibyte, you said you were going to talk about Digibyte a little bit earlier, because that's also on the cards. It's also one of the 10 coins that we've got on the buy and hold portfolio.
Yes, exactly.
So okay. Guys, I know there's a lot of folks posting coins on. If just as a principle, if it's not in the top 40 report, guys, please don't expect us to deal with it in the hour and a half that we have on a Thursday market call. It's probably not on the radar then. I know I trade one or two coins that are not in the top 40 report at all. I can't expect Morris to do analysis on them because his focus is on the coins that he's advising us on and teaching us on and showing us the principles to follow with. So yes, I know there's a lot of coins that one could be trading, but you know, we've got limited time to cover the stuff. So Morris, yeah, PPT and Digibyte perhaps.
Yeah, now
about 8 minutes.
Now remember with PPT, Populous, we said that the only time when I will buy is when these algorithm lines are pointing upwards and they're not pointing upwards again. So what we want to see is we want to see a turnaround here, and we want to see that doing this. At that cross, that's when we buy. So PPT for the time being, you can either accumulate now. It's a great point to accumulate. It could go a little bit lower. Keep that in mind. I bought PPT, just as many of you know, some at that point. There's even some I bought at $5, which was the max. So you can imagine the downtrend and the money that you've lost. Okay, I bought some here in the bottom. I bought some here. I haven't bought any yet, but I'm going to buy. Because if ultimately Populous is going to go back up to $30, it's going to break its all-time high of 60 and go ahead. So that's for me more a long-term. I haven't got a lot of Populous, but I'm just stashing that away. But in terms of you buying now, wait for this, wait for that turnaround. That's when you know that this coin is a good buy. Let's quickly get into Digibyte. Digibyte, as expected, guys, I'm not going to go too far into this, but you see what's on my screen here. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, Tertius. It points to something here.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just going to leave a comment there.
It's coming.
Remember, that's why Digibyte is in the top 5, guys. This thing.
It's there for a reason.
Remember, everybody in the world is now calling for Digibyte to spike and go crazy. Digibyte and XRP is not going to happen yet. It's still a bit of sideways movement downwards. Let's quickly get into XRP. I've got XRP as well. XRP dropped considerable here. I still expect that we could potentially hit this 0.59. There are coins here, guys, that are missing that last little spike into 0.5. If you look at these yellow channel lines, it's mathematically certain that you kind of must get that last spike upwards. And I see that's missing in every single coin. It's missing in Litecoin, that one spike upwards there. It's missing in Ethereum, that one spike upwards. It may not happen. But keep in mind that if that doesn't happen, I'll be really surprised. I'll be very, very surprised. So what I'm hoping for, my apologies, what I'm hoping for, if you look at Bitcoin here, I think Bitcoin mucked up a lot of things here for us, where people started buying FOMO, now they're selling out. But I do expect that Bitcoin could have a little bit more a downturn going sideways. In the sideways move, it could be that these alts outperform Bitcoin, because the alts are way down and they haven't outperformed Bitcoin yet. Just one thing, Tertius, with the outperformance of Bitcoin, the alts are only going to start outperforming Bitcoin by far. Keep in mind, year around about August. Remember what I said, when all these big spikes start happening? When those big spikes happen, Bitcoin, you realize that there's no Bitcoin in this, you see there 2.5%. You can put it around 15% if you want, but at that point, I'm not going to have a lot of Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't spike. Remember what I'm showing you here. Look at this, what I'm showing. See there, it goes upwards, sideways, slowly.
Yep.
The altcoins are 36% behind. Mathematically, there's an equation. It must go to 0, 0. They negative 36%. Many of you will see it in your portfolios. If you convert your portfolio into Bitcoin, you'll see that, man, actually, 3 months ago I had 50 Bitcoin. Now I've only got 40 or 38 Bitcoin. What is happening? Well, the price went up. That's what I call the equation. You're down 36%. Everybody is. Don't worry about it. It's going to catch up. Okay. So Tertius, yeah, that's probably it.
Thanks very much, Morris. Once again, you've outdone yourself. We are looking forward to the next couple of weeks, and a lot of confidence again between now and the 2nd, to see what happens and see if this, those coins that have got the spike missing are going to get it, or whether it's not going to happen. And then, by the same token, at some point you mentioned an update on the top 40 report. I see there was a question on that again. The last one I think we've got is from May. Are you expecting that after this cycle, maybe after the 2nd, early next month, or when can we expect?
I'll do an update over this weekend and send that out.
Awesome.
There won't be a lot of changes here, but it will just be an update with an updated date, and I'll go through the coins and see. I'll get our team to do it, and we'll get that sorted. Okay.
Well, obviously, it doesn't make sense to do an update if nothing's changed. But I mean, after the cycle with the new ABCD patterns beginning, that's what I've told people. Wait for that, because then there's something new. There's some new news.
Absolutely.
But thanks very much.